Chicago Bears find themselves at a crossroads when it comes to their defense, and the most glaring issue revolves around the edge rusher position. Despite the buzz around some players in the offseason workouts and minicamp, the truth is that the Bears have yet to identify a true game changer in that crucial spot. When you think about it, this team is really just a Montez Sweat injury away from facing serious questions about their pass rush. Sweat's ability to disrupt opposing quarterbacks is vital, and without a reliable partner or successor, the pressure on him, and by extension, on the entire defense, becomes unsustainable. Now, when you look at the minicamp performances, players like Dio Dango have been rather quiet. That doesn't automatically mean they're underperforming or destined to disappoint, but the lack of chatter around them raises some red flags. Same goes for Austin Booker. There hasn't been much news or highlights showing these guys stepping up as the next big thing. That's troubling for a team that desperately needs fresh impact and consistency from their edge rushers. Dominique Robinson has been somewhat of a curiosity in this mix. Despite his potential, he's not yet proven to be the type of player who can swing the momentum on his own. Even if he improves and earns a spot in the rotation, it would take a significant leap for him to become a true difference maker. Betting on that breakthrough feels like a gamble the Bears can't afford right now. This leads to the core belief that the Bears must prioritize acquiring an edge rusher who can consistently threaten opposing offenses and elevate the defense as a whole. Comparing the Bears to other teams expected to struggle this season, it's clear that the roster gaps extend beyond just one position. The Jets, the Browns, and the Giants all have their own challenges. The Jets are likely to fight hard but face their own limitations. The Browns have talent but suffer from uncertainty at quarterback, and the Giants, while slightly better, are confronted with an extremely difficult schedule. The Saints also come up frequently in discussions as a team that could find itself near the bottom. Still, the Bears stand out due to the specific vulnerability on the edge and the overall youth and development needed in key defensive spots. When discussing the potential moves the Bears could make, a lot of attention centers on their defensive backfield as well. Questions about players like Jalen Johnson and Tyreek Stevenson come up often, especially as the Bears try to build a secondary that can complement an improved pass rush. The idea of bringing in someone like Jair Alexander is tempting because of his talent level when healthy. He and Jalen could form a top-tier cornerback duo, arguably among the best in the league. However, Alexander's history of injuries, missing more than half the games over the past 4 years, complicates the calculus. The Bears may be hesitant to invest heavily in a player with those durability concerns, especially when they're trying to piece together a defense that needs immediate impact rather than long-term potential. The strategy here seems to lean toward maximizing the current roster and focusing on developing young talent already on the team. Austin Booker and Javon Dexter represent intriguing possibilities along the defensive line. Dexter, in particular, has the profile of a player capable of reaching double-digit sacks if he can take the next step. If one of the young corners can solidify the CB2 spot alongside Jalen and Kyler Gordon, the Bears could boast a cornerback trio that is tough to beat. All of this hinges, though, on the defense's ability to pressure quarterbacks consistently, which circles back to that edge rusher need. On the front office side, questions about who truly controls the salary cap and contracts often arise. The relationship between the team's cap expert and the general manager is complex and collaborative. While the cap expert handles the nuts and bolts of contract structures, signing bonuses, and how to fit deals under the cap, the GM is deeply involved in assessing player value and deciding where the team's resources should be allocated. This partnership is crucial when targeting high-impact players in free agency or structuring extensions that balance present needs with future flexibility. As training camp approaches, the conversation heats up about the Bears' biggest roster needs. Edge rusher remains at the top of the list by a wide margin. While some might argue that running back or adding depth at safety or linebacker are important, none of those positions hold the same urgency. The right edge rusher could step in and make an immediate difference, especially if Dio Dango continues to play a rotational role rather than being a full-time impact player. Even if the newcomer isn't an instant star, Adding competition and fresh energy on the edge could push the entire defensive front forward. Turning to the offensive side, there's a lot of optimism about DJ Moore's potential for a big year. He's already proven he can rack up over 1,000 yards receiving, even in less-than-ideal passing offenses. 2 years ago, he put up more than 1,300 yards despite the Bears' overall struggles in the passing game. With the emergence of other weapons like Rome Dunn and contributions expected from receivers like Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, and even newcomers like Luther Burden and Lamed Zaccheaus, the targets will be spread out more. That means Moore might not hit the same high volume as before, but should still easily clear the 1,000-yard mark. What's more intriguing about Moore's game is the potential return of those explosive plays that defined his earlier seasons. His yards per catch average dropped last year compared to previous campaigns, and the Bears need to get back to those big plays that flip field position and energize the offense. If Moore can recapture that explosiveness, paired with a steadily improving supporting cast, the Bears' passing game could take a significant step forward. On the defensive line, the possibility of adding someone like Trey Hendrickson remains an exciting prospect. Hendrickson is a proven sack artist, and his presence could transform the Bears' defensive front from a weakness into a strength. If Hendrickson and Montez Sweat can both stay healthy and contribute, and Dio Dango continues to be a versatile rotational player, the Bears might finally have a defensive line capable of generating consistent pressure and disrupting offenses. The key will be balancing these additions with the current roster. Defensive tackles like Austin Booker and Dominique Robinson offer solid depth and rotational potential, and players like Billings and Turner add quality reps to keep the unit fresh. This kind of depth is essential over the grueling NFL season. When a player like Hendrickson comes in and immediately adds a dozen or more sacks, it doesn't just help him personally, it creates a domino effect that lifts everyone else on the defense. Offensively, beyond the obvious talent of rookie wide receiver Rome Dunn, the Bears need him to make the leap from a promising second-year player into a dependable top-tier number 2 receiver. The expectations that come with being a high draft pick demand more than flashes of brilliance. The team needs him to consistently perform at a high level and be a reliable target on key downs. As the Bears prepare to enter training camp, the spotlight remains firmly on the defensive side of the ball, but there's also a growing sense of anticipation about how the offense will develop, especially with the weapons now at Justin Fields' disposal. The pressure is on for Fields to continue his progression as a quarterback and prove he can lead this team to more consistent success. With the likes of DJ Moore and Rome Dunn, plus tight ends and running backs who can create mismatches, there's a solid foundation in place, but execution and health will be key. One interesting aspect is how the new offensive scheme will leverage these pieces. The Bears have shown an inclination toward more press-man coverage on defense, which, if it works as planned, could help the secondary hold up better against opposing receivers. This would give the pass rush more opportunities to get home, which circles back again to why the edge rusher position is so vital. If the defense can create more pressure, it will take a lot of stress off the secondary and give the offense more chances to control the game. The quarterback situation across the league also has ripple effects on the Bears' prospects. Teams like the Browns, who have talent but question marks at quarterback, and the Giants, with a brutal schedule, remind us that the NFC North can be a grind every single week. The Bears will have to battle through some tough matchups, but if they can shore up the defense and get consistent production from their skill players, they might be able to punch above their weight. Speaking of roster moves, the ongoing conversations about contract negotiations and salary cap management are more than just front office minutiae. They have real impact on what the team can do. Balancing how much to spend on proven veterans versus developing younger talent is a delicate dance. The partnership between the general manager and the cap expert plays a huge role here. They have to figure out how to structure deals that allow the team to stay competitive now while not hamstringing future flexibility. This balancing act influences who the Bears chase in free agency and how they approach draft day. In the defensive backfield, the hope is that the combination of Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and whoever secures the cornerback 2 spot can become a reliable trio that shuts down the league's best receivers. This would elevate the defense's ability to force turnovers and limit big plays, which has been an issue in past seasons. Depth at cornerback and safety remains important, especially considering how fast and dynamic NFL offenses have become. There's also an underlying theme about how the Bears develop their younger players. Guys like Javon Dexter and Austin Booker show promise, but the question is whether they can make the jump from role players to game-changing stars. The coaching staff's ability to nurture this talent and get the most out of every player on the roster will be critical to the team's success. In a league where every edge rusher and cornerback seems to come at a premium, finding those homegrown gems can be the difference between a good season and a playoff run. On the offensive side, Rome Dunn's development is crucial. While his rookie year showed flashes, he needs to become a consistent threat who can command attention from defenses. If he can reach that level, it will open things up for the entire offense and help take pressure off DJ Moore. The hope is that the offensive scheme will allow the Bears to get creative and let these playmakers showcase their abilities in ways that create explosive plays. Ultimately, the Chicago Bears season will likely hinge on whether they can find that missing edge rusher who can change the game. The ripple effect of adding a true pass rush threat would boost the entire defense and give the offense more opportunities by forcing turnovers and creating favorable field position. Until then, the team will rely on a combination of young talent stepping up and smart roster management to keep them competitive in what's shaping up to be a challenging NFL season. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that could send shockwaves through the NFL, rumors have begun to circulate that star linebacker TJ Watt might be on his way to the Chicago Bears via trade. While nothing has been confirmed by either franchise, whispers around league insiders suggest that discussions may already be underway, fueling speculation that the Bears are making a bold play to bolster their defense with one of the league's most dominant pass rushers. Watt, who has spent his entire career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, is considered one of the most fearsome defenders in the game. A former Defensive Player of the Year, he's a consistent Pro Bowler and the kind of elite talent who could immediately transform any defense. The Bears, who have been steadily building under a new regime and recently strengthened their roster with promising draft picks and strategic signings, could be eyeing what as the missing piece to take their defense back to its feared legacy. No trade details have surfaced, but analysts are already speculating about what Chicago might have to give up to land what. A package involving future first-round picks or key defensive starters has been suggested, though again, all remains in the realm of speculation. The Steelers, for their part, have been publicly quiet, but some insiders hint that the team might be looking to retool and could see value in moving Watt while his stock is still at its peak. For Chicago, acquiring what would be a major statement, not just about their ambitions for the upcoming season, but about their commitment to returning to relevance in the NFC. Pairing Watt with their young core could create a dangerous unit that competes with the best in the league. Of course, it's all just rumor for now. But in the ever-dramatic world of the NFL, where anything can happen, fans in both Chicago and Pittsburgh will be watching closely. If there's truth behind the whispers, the league could be on the verge of one of the biggest trades in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.